In this tutorial, we'll be creating a typical startup landing page. There's a navbar, of course, there's a hero section and two sections where we have some copy for important features and USPs of organizing. Let's not forget the call to action, and finally the footer. So let's go ahead and get started with the navbar. Let's drag in a box and give it a dark blue fill. Set the text color to white. And because we have a simple text logo here, we insert a text element as well. Hit enter to edit its text. Set the font to Playfair Display semi-bold with a size of 22 pixels and a line height of 25 pixels. Now we also need a way for our users to open the nav menu on mobile, so we'll add in an icon button and set a proper menu icon, of course. Now as you can see, things are not quite yet where we want them. Which already brings us to the topic of layout, arguably one of the harder things in web design. You see, on the web, the order and hierarchy of elements dictate where and how they will be shown in the design. So rather than just pointing and clicking anywhere to draw an element, you need to consider how your elements are aligned and arranged. By default, elements are displayed from left to right, but in our case, we want things to stick to the left and right. So we select our box and set the justify control to space between. And now, even when we resize our viewport, things will stay put. This way of designing may take a little bit of time to get used to, but it also makes you more productive as you build out your design, because you no longer need to constantly nudge and resize elements to make them fit into your layout. To finish off our navbar, give its content a little room to breathe by adding 5 pixels of padding. You can hold Shift to set the spacing for all the sides simultaneously. So, you've just created your first responsive navbar. How does that feel? Pretty darn good, right? Let's take your layout skills to another level by creating a nice looking hero section. To create our hero section, start off by adding a section element. By default, this includes a container, which helps to center content on your screen up until a maximum width, plus a bit of padding to prevent it from hugging the sides of your screen. To continue, we'll need to add a row with a heading 1, a paragraph and an input field inside the first column. In the second column, add an image element. Now, why did we add a row and why do we put all of the text in that first column? To show you, we're going to be switching to a desktop viewport. As you can see, things are still looking quite the same, but we have a lot of unused screen space here. We're going to fix that by selecting our row and setting its direction to horizontal. Boom, this makes our columns display horizontally, with our image now appearing on the right. And our copy is still neatly displayed on the left, because we've grouped them in that first column. Makes sense, right? Let's go back to our phone portrait viewport and drag in a nice image. Update the style of the headings and paragraph. Set the font, its size and color. Give them both a bit of bottom margin as well. Next up is our input field. It should allow users to enter their email and take them to the sign up. What we're missing here is a button. Let's add it. The label we won't need for our use case, so we can safely delete it. Now, the same trick with laying out elements applies here. Set the display to flex to enable the layout controls. By default it shows horizontally, but you'll notice that our text is a bit cramped here. We'll fix that by going to more layout settings and setting the sizing option to none. This makes sure that our element always takes up the space it needs, without shrinking or growing too much. Now we'll just need to design our input field to be more in line with the rest of our design. We'll use a 1 pixel blue border for the input field. We'll reset the default border radius to make the edges a bit sharper. This fits better with the serif fonts we're using on the page. We'll also make the field just a tad higher. The button will give a blue fill, white text, and the label sign up. Finally, we'll change the placeholder to be enter your email address. Now that we've got ourselves a pretty good looking hero section, we're going to continue by creating a new place for displaying our unique selling points. Again, we start dragging in a section. Give it a yellow fill, add in a row, and in the first column, add an image, heading 4, and a paragraph. Add a bit of bottom margin to the image and the heading, and set it to Playfair Display. Now, because we want 3 USPs, it's probably easiest to copy paste the first row. Drag in the proper icons to make the USPs look a bit nicer. That's it. Let's move on to the other section of USPs. Once again, drag in a section, drag in a row. For the previous USPs, we've put all the content in a single row. But for these USPs, we want the image to be more prominent on desktop screens. So we'll add the image in the first column and the heading, paragraph and a button in the other column. Again, set the font, the margins and style the button to have a white background with a sharp blue border. And don't forget to set the images. Creating the call to action is pretty straightforward. We drag in another section, we give it a blue fill, we set the font color to be white, and this makes all of our text elements inside automatically use that color. Set the text align to center, we drag in a heading 2, a text element and a button. The button gets a yellow fill and a label sign up. That's it. We're almost there already. For the footer, you've guessed it already, we add another section. And inside we'll want to show the company logo again, so we add a text element and set its font once again to Playfair Display, semi-bold, size 26 pixels. Underneath we want to have a set of links with a heading, and because we also want to set these links to show horizontally, we once again add a stack. Add a heading 4 and let's not style it with our serif font this time, keeping the appearance of our footer a bit more functional. Underneath the heading add a list and inside the list item add in a link with some text that points to the right page. We duplicate this row 3 times and edit the data for each and every item until we have everything on our footer set. Now we've got ourselves quite a solid landing page. And of course we didn't optimize our page for larger screens yet, but now that you've seen how layout in Handoff works, it would be a good exercise for you, just to play around on other screen sizes to see if you can match it to the demo content. Thanks for watching, good luck, and if you get stuck at some point, feel free to leave a message in the Handoff community on Slack.